Hey everybody, it's Rutter up at Middle St Vrain Thursday. Just thought I'd give you a update on everything that I've done so far. I actually did a bunch at the end of last week, but it rained a lot, so I didn't have a chance to get a video. So I'm just going to walk it through on the way back. So show you what I started with today and then what I wrapped up with last week. So here we go. All right, let's pull that back a little bit. Culvert here. Just wanted to add a little dirt over the top because it was kind of exposed. Those things get slick when they're wet, obviously. And then did a little grave reversal here, and then have a little line here where you got a rock roll here, or you can pop it, and then a bigger one down below here, which we'll walk up to. Yeah, and here's the drainage, obviously. But yeah, rock roll here. You can pop it or just roll it. And then pop off this guy, which is just a little step up. I put a little kind of cheater rock right there. It was actually already there. I just moved it down the hill in kind of the same position, really, just so I could get a little more backfill in there for that. So that was the goal. And then coming through here, just basically left all this alone, squeeze this in, and then add this little rock roll. There was like a little Doug fir tree that was right there, and I popped that, and it's like, oh wow, this works really well. So let's do that. Add a little rock right here on this. So that creates a bit of a step up, which we'll see. Yeah, so we got a little step up here. And then if you want to ride that, obviously you can do that. Otherwise, you're rolling down it or popping it and dropping through here. This section's a little quiet, not a lot going on here. I just cut in a few drains, so I'm going to walk through this pretty quick. Made it over this guy, didn't break the bridge with the excavator, so that was good. I was a little concerned because those things aren't new. Little drains, just little nicks here and there, usual stuff. This section's pretty flat for the most part, short little rollers, but nothing crazy. So pretty much leave it as is and just let it do its thing. All right, coming up to big rock roll here. Another little nick here. Most of these are just pooling water. They're not really cutting. Obviously, you can see the treads packed in pretty good, but just a little rock roll here. So just something to play with. You're not really carrying a ton of speed. You're just starting to get going from here. And then, so that's more of a rollover. You're not really popping that guy unless you want to get after it. Some roots and roots and roots. Another little nick there. Little rollover right here. Another little nick. Coming through here, relatively flat. Does everybody know where they're at on the trail through here? There's some pretty good landmarks if you know it well, but this section, oh, there's a gal that was kind of bike packing, it looked like. And she actually went over the rock here. So that's interesting. See how she did. So this is what I finished with last week on Friday. So drainage here, build this up. This guy was already kind of here. I just cleaned it up a little bit and backfilled this approach a little more, and then added some better rocks to roll off this thing. And obviously you can roll up it too if you like, but come off this guy, down, another drain here, so we got a little drainage, so another little roller, catch that. This is the split, if you know that. I think we talked about this last time. I'm not sure if this was a horse bypass, if this was the horse bypass here before, or if this was the original trail. I don't actually know this one. I know the one up on Buchanan actually is signed for like a horse bypass, but for this one I'm not sure that story. So if anybody knows, feel free to add that in the comments. That'd be cool. There was an old water bar right here, and I just popped it. And it was hard to get drainage here just because we're so high. I'd be digging 3 feet, 4 feet down before I got drainage. So I decided to just skip over this one and then hit a little drainage here. Skinny this up a little bit. It was a little wide. Get down to like 3.5, 4 feet, somewhere in there. Kind of the standard for the trail. Coming through here. This was fine. This was already a drainage, and then I just kind of insloped it a little bit more just so it grabs you, because it's kind of blind when you come into it. This guy kind of roughed in years ago. Obviously, it's just a little rollover. You can pop it as if you want to, and I just kind of cleaned out the run out, so you can kind of cruise through that. So a lot of stuff just keep you busy on the trail. And another little kind of flattish, quiet spot. You can see no erosion really happening here. And I saw this little guy, probably long term. I just thought it was cool. I just happened to notice there's this rock and it kind of rolls up to it pretty easily. You got to snap back on the trail a little bit. It might be better to add dirt to that over time, but there's not a lot of dirt right here. This is really boggy in here. So you can see we're kind of turnpiked through this section. So here's the section that's always bugged me, and I always thought this rock was going to play really well, but it had a gap in it, so it was really hard to connect. So I just popped a drain here, add some dirt and rock. So now you can come in and cut this corner and kind of dial this little line through here. Otherwise, you can still come around on that side if you want to. And then this was a big uprooted tree. This was that really tight corner that ran into a rock. And I thought that rock wasn't very big, and then I realized that that was it. So that took me a little while to get with the excavator. But finally got that out. Obviously created a big hole here, but that's okay. We'll get some drainage. But we're getting it pushed down this way a little bit, because this is that really tight corner with the two boulders that is really hard to negotiate, because you're kind of coming in at a weird angle. So I put this little rock roll right here to hopefully just catch people. If they get a little wide, they can use that just to get around the corner and still carry a little bit of speed. This guy I did last year, maybe, I think. It was already kind of there. I just kind of cleaned it up a little bit and lined it up better with the rock. Chipped a little bit because it was a little bit steep right here, like a sharp point. So I wanted to be able to ride it both directions. So got that guy. And then drainage here, because obviously this is where the other trail comes back in right here. So just put a drainage here just to catch that water. So another roller right here, drain that, and then push this little section over a little bit, because it was kind of cutting this corner in, so I just want to push it out a little bit. Use these rocks as kind of a step up, step down feature. And then climbing back up the hill. So we'll get to see the stuff that I had a video of last week, so you'll be able to see the finished product and kind of walk through that a little bit. A little nick at the bottom of the hill here. Get that water off. Oop, I think I showed this one before it was done last week. So here's the finished product on this little guy coming downhill. Another little roller up here midway. Grab some water. And this all was pretty much left alone. And then just added this little roller here, did a step up rock here and here, just to kind of keep with the theme in this section. And then here's the rock roll here that I finished. Here's obviously the actual tread where I did the rock armoring. And then it actually came out pretty good. The rocks actually fit really well. So here's that rock roll. It drops in here. So that's it. So that's what I've been working on the last 2 or 3 days that I've been up here. So yeah, it's coming together pretty good, and I keep rolling. Almost up to sourdough. So hopefully first part of next week should be at sourdough, and then hopefully working past that. And we've done a little work past that with volunteers as well. So man, getting close. So awesome. Thanks for watching, and I will check in with you all next week. See ya.